Hi again, Lola Mac, and I am here again to talk about women, helping women. I believe we should always build each other up and never put each other down or hurt each other. So anyway, I should probably say a little about myself because I'm just beginning here. And so I came from South Boston, Massachusetts, and my mother was a single mother of 5. She really didn't take care of the kids too much a lot. So I ended up taking care of all the little kids, and cooking and cleaning, 8 years old, taking care of kids. But I was pretty angry, and she was pretty abusive, and she really beat the shit out of you and called you names, and it was pretty nasty. So when I was older and men treated me bad, like my husband, um, my first daughter's, my baby's girl's daddy, was rude and mean and called me names and was just awful. It was pretty normal. I didn't like it because I'm like hardcore prideful and Irish all the way. So I fought back with my words, and it made things miserable. And I didn't want my children seeing a miserable home. I wanted them to have a happy home. So my daughter, when she was 5.5 years old, I put him up. We were together for like 9 years. And like a year later, I ended up sleeping with one of my friends that I grew up with in the projects all my life. He was my friend for over 20 years. I was 27. He was 23. He started getting really jealous, and I ended up pregnant a few months in. And he started saying I wanted to go back to my husband, and just being questioning and controlling and all abusive, and just squeezing my arm, putting bruises on me, and it got so bad. By the time I was 6 months pregnant, he held me captive for 2 days and beat me so bad. He put bite marks in my breasts, and I was just a mess afterwards. So, needless to say, I did not stay with him, and he ended up stalking me, and it was just a big mess. And my son, he never met his father until 2 years ago when he was 22, because he moved to Florida, because the friends, I used to just always hang with my brothers and the guys and play poker all the time and try to win their money. And all the guys and my brothers, they always ended up beating him up every time he came out of his house for doing that. And he had to move out of state, so he still lives in Florida. He would probably still get beat up. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know I'm so rude smoking, but it relaxes my anxiety from PTSD. You'll understand. Listen. Anyway, so I raised my kids for a long time by myself and just avoided men completely. And then my next real abusive incident, I did date one other guy who was somewhat abusive with his mouth, not his hands. And mental abuse, ladies, don't tell yourself he's not hitting you. He's just being mean, calling you names, controlling you, or whatever. Controlling your money, controlling where you go, controlling your words, controlling what you wear, not hating you. That's worse if he's hurting your feelings, making you feel bad about yourself. Any of that, taking your pride, taking your self-esteem away, bit by bit, until it's gone. You feel horrible, and you're depressed, and you hate yourself, you barely want to live anymore, and are so unhappy. I think I'd rather get beat up. I think I'd rather get beat up every day than have my feelings hurt and be mentally tortured constantly. And my choice. But cruelty is cruelty, and it's unacceptable. And we are all worth being treated kind. And we all need to know that. And we all need to demand it in our lives. So anyway, like 14 years later, when I next had my next real relationship and decided to not just focus on my kids and take some time for my real self, I started dating this guy. I was seeing him for a few years and often, like just dating him. But he's pretty much the only one I was dating, and he was okay, but he did start getting controlling, and I noticed it, but I excused it. I said, oh, maybe he really just likes me. I mean, whatever. Like, I made excuses for it, and I shouldn't have, because it made me uncomfortable, and it didn't feel good. He tried to put a tracking app on my phone, like send me a text, download this app, so he can watch where I go all the time, know my location. Like, that's not normal. You should say, if I say I'm home, you should think I'm home, because I said it. And really, I wasn't going anywhere. I'm not the type. I'm pretty much a homebody. I like to be with my family. I like to be around my son or my daughter or someone I know that I really can be comfortable with. And that's about the only two people I really know I can be comfortable with and aren't going to hurt me. And anyway, so, needless to say, from just those incidents alone, well, and then him, after actually 2.5 to almost 3 years in, one night we were on the phone, and he said, I'll get you. And I said, oh, stop it. Why do you always say you're going to get me? You're not going to get me. And he came over to my house that night. I was in my lingerie, and he came in, and he started slapping me really hard across the face for no reason, and my eyes filled up with tears. I was, like, heartbroken, because I really did have a lot of love for him, even though I was not the committing type and not willing to, like, be a girlfriend or live with someone. I'm not that type. But anyway, he, like, took his belt off, and big leather belt, and he started beating me up, just whipping it at me, and all these, like, welts, like huge long welts, started appearing on my thighs and my back and my arms, and I was running and racing and trying to get away from him, and it just, like, went wild, and it was crazy and fast, and there was welts all over my body, neck to foot, ankle, front and back, and I was, like, in pain, and I was crying, and he was, like, trying to have sex with me, and I was like, get off me, get out of here, go away, just get out of my house. And he was not trying to leave, so he, like, really, like, nastily forced himself on me, which is, rape. And believe me, ladies, if your man is your man and he's raping you, it's still rape. It's actually worse, because I think it's just as bad or worse, because it's really a violation that really hurts and breaks your heart. And it takes a while to get over it. I don't know if you get over it, because, it's PTSD. That's what you get. You're a PTSD victim there. But, you know, we are strong, and we can move on, and we can live with that. We can be proud of ourselves and know that it's not our fault, and we are good people, and we do not deserve that, and we will prevail. We will not be victims anymore. We will learn how to be unattractive to predators, be ugly to predators, by being confident and strong. And if we're not confident and strong, then we will try to learn to be confident and strong, hopefully. And that is very unattractive to them, because they are not looking for that. They're looking for someone they can control, and someone they can question, boss around, and basically just take over. So that's what abusive men do. They're literally psychotic. like a Jeffrey Dahmer. They don't cut people up, but they literally manipulate and calculate and live in a vicious cycle of sickness constantly, and they draw you into their circle and cycle of vicious sickness, and it affects your whole being, and it literally is awful. So anyway, if we can protect ourselves, avoid it, get out of it if we're in it, that's one thing I would like to discuss on this channel. I want to discuss dating apps and all the terrible things men do on those. All of those dating apps, Meet Me, Plenty of Fish, Tinder, Bumble, all of them. Also, the scammers and the sugar daddy sites with the scammers, taking advantage, getting your credentials, getting your bank logins. I'm not saying I've been doing it for 20 years, and I've given my bank logins to plenty of scammers, and I knew they were scammers because they did not. I have been scammed also once. Well, maybe I don't even know if he's a scammer or not. Maybe he's not a scammer. I haven't given him like $1 million or a ton of money because I'm very careful and very untrusting. But he did definitely make a couple of accounts in my name. But honestly, there was no money in them and no transactions in a lot of them. He really doesn't. I'm not really. But I have a lot of knowledge and information about scammers and scamming and scams. I know them all. They've all been offered to me. I've denied 99% of them. But I do know a good opportunity when I see it, too. And I am not rich, so I need money at any time I can get it. I've been homeless over and over many times because I have PTSD, I have depression, I have a lot of issues. I'm not perfect. I've suffered a lot in my life, but I am grateful, I am strong, I am peaceful, I am loving, and I am hopeful. And I hope to pass on a lot of knowledge, a lot of love, a lot of confidence, and a lot of information to a lot of ladies. And I hope to get a lot of views and a lot of love back. Take care and have a good night.